Hey, how's it going, everybody? How y'all doing today? It's another beautiful day for me. I hope it's another beautiful day for thee. Right now, I'm just kind of a little bit in flux right now because I'm doing like a bunch of things. This week has been very busy. I had a lot happen this week. Some I'll tell you, some is in the back scene, and I'm gonna just let it be until it's time to announce things. But in the meantime, I will say this. First of all, a lot of you have been telling me that the blog was down. I apologize. I don't know what was going on with that. It was pretty bad. It was something to do with the PHP not being updated or whatever, and that's fine. That's all good. I went in there. It took me a couple of days to figure it out. Eventually, I got to the bottom of it. I figured it out. I also figured out how to prevent that from the future from happening again. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of work. A lot of posts were gone. So I had to do the whole rigmarole of going back into the past, finding every single piece of work that I've done, because I didn't save offline, which was rookie move number one. Don't do that. If you're a blogger, if you are any type of writer, always keep a backup. I don't know what I was thinking, oh, this could be trusted, no problem, nothing will happen, no big deal. Wrong. I can't even believe the tomfoolery that I put myself through just because off rip I trusted the system. That was mistake numero uno. Never trust technology off rip. You need to have a backup plan. Have a backup plan for everything. This turned me into a completely paranoid person. I legit was like, all right, so I'm gonna have a backup plan for that and a backup plan for the backup plan. Like that's who I became. I'm just like, what is going on here? The amount of work that went into what I needed to do was just astounding. Like it was legitimately frustrating, a headache. Anyways, you don't need to hear all that. I just wanted to let you know that I'm well aware that the site was down. I fixed it. It's all good. And yeah, a lot of the posts are gone. I'm gonna slowly but surely backlog this week's work. It looks like nothing happened. That's the worst part. So what I'm gonna do is, I think something around probably tomorrow, I'll just slowly but surely, get the stuff back up. So it'll be there. It'll be back up, and hopefully there'll be no future problems again like that. It was just weird. I don't know. So technical difficulties there. That's really unfortunate. But we pushed through. Okay, we pushed through. We will not stop this train. Okay, everything has a destination. I'm not gonna veer off that track. Okay, we are still on that track. You think this is gonna stop me? This was a minor speed bump. You gotta think of it this way, guys. Nothing can stop you. And if you have that mindset, nothing will stop you. If you use a moment like this, because this is a teachable moment for me. It was a moment where it was like the amount of work that was going into fixing this. Because I don't know anything about like going through and updating little patches and software. I'm not a programmer. Not some kind of PHP wizard or something like that. So I just was trying to slowly but surely learn the material, and as I'm learning the material, I was implementing the material, and I was finding where the the database that needed to be updated was getting updated, and then also going back and finding all the pieces that are missing for putting together the blog post from scratch again, right? So it's a lot of it's a lot of backwards work, but also a lot of determination needs to be in you already. You need to have already that fire in you to keep pushing through, because when you go through that kind of moment, you will have questions about how much you love this. You will have questions about how much you're willing to go through to get this done. You will question that. There will be a moment where you're like, is this worth it? That question, you need to destroy that question with an absolute yes. Like, that question should be demolished. You gotta be sitting there thinking to yourself, that ain't nothing like this is even remotely gonna be stopping me. You have to kind of come with that energy, and that's the kind of situation where if you don't have that momentum, if you don't have that fire, if you don't have that desire, you're gonna stop. You're gonna give yourself an excuse. This was a great excuse to stop doing what I was doing. This was a great excuse for somebody who, and when I say great, I don't mean great as in I justify it. I mean, some people will justify this. They'll be like, oh, I can take a break, blah, 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 blah. No. It took 3 days almost, 2.5 days of work. So that means 2.5 days of not creating content, trying to figure this out. Okay. And I was exhausted. I was burned out. By the end of the week, with everything that was going on, I was burned out. Okay. And so that happened. So that's a recap about the whole, that's a whole recap about the whole week there in one nutshell. Okay. So what I'm probably going to do is, instead of posting this for Saturday, I'm going to post this. This is actually going to get posted for last Sunday. And then hopefully you'll understand. It'll make sense to you. So this is kind of like a retroactive update. This is like it's almost like a Back to the Future kind of thing, where it's like a time paradox. Okay, so the future is talking about what's going to happen in the listener's future, which is my past and the past of these episodes. So anyways, that's how that's going to go. We'll see how that goes. So I'll post some more, and I'll edit them too. I'll edit them in a way where it makes more sense, because those blog posts, some of them had podcasts, and it's just one of those things where you just have to accept, oh, okay, so it's not going to work like that. And I'm also going to update the podcast on the YouTube. So I took those down so that I could reflectively, accurately reflect the week, so it makes more sense. So it's not going to be confusing for people. Because if you're listening to the SoundCloud or the RSS feed and then you go to the YouTube, it'll like be different. That's not good. I don't want that to be the case. So that's what this is. And I'll tell you right now, technology is one of those things where in the future, since we're in the future, you have to wear many hats. You have to also be somebody who is willing to learn new technology to fix it yourself, or you have to pay somebody. Now, if you're willing to pay somebody, you also are putting your trust in another person's hands for your content. Something could happen. What if it gets deleted? What if whatever happens? You never know. You don't know. That's a lot of trust. That's that's the drawback to trusting somebody with your stuff, especially when you're starting out, when you're new. And some people look at it this way. They say, oh, I'm new. I'm just going to focus on actually just creating the content and optimizing it and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm going to have someone else do the thing. And so that they're already in a net negative. They're, paying money for blah, blah, blah. And honestly, in my personal opinion, it's just one of those things where, is it really necessary? You might want to ask yourself a question. Is it necessary? I don't know about that. In the beginning, you should be focusing on learning everything as much as you can. Just get good. Just as the kids say, get good. Just get yourself, waist deep, knee deep, elbow deep, what do you call it? Is that chin deep? Is that what they say? Neck deep. Get neck deep into the situation and learn this whole thing as you go, because the faster you learn, the more you're able to implement and the better your show's going to be, period. The better your podcast is going to be, period. This is all a learning experience. I just hope you understand that this is like a mindset / journal / recap of everything. But at the same time, this is like a how-to, or like the actual pure experience of being a podcaster. So you have to kind of, again, you can't get mad. You can't let yourself get frustrated. You have to just take a deep breath and understand that you are learning. You're just learning. And that's a beautiful thing, man. You definitely are going to go places if you allow yourself the most knowledge you can get as fast as you can get it, right? And not to rush you, not to say you should be doing it quick, but you should have some kind of pace that is comfortable for you, but is, exponentially getting faster. You are every day getting better at learning more information about this stuff and implementing it, taking action on it. So if you learn how to edit better, okay, from now on, all your podcasts should be edited better. What does that mean? Maybe you have, tighter editing. Maybe you have tighter intros, better intros, whatever. Maybe you have better music choices. I don't know what that means. Everyone's going to be different, but you get the idea. You should at some point be able to say, cool, I'm actually improving just by looking at the beginning of what you've done, like the first 3 or 4 or 5 episodes, and in the last 2 or 3 or 5 episodes you just did. And that's really the goal. Anyways, I don't want to go too far. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate your time. I will be giving you more updates in the future podcast. I do have the other ones I'm gonna edit. I'll probably just put a little bit of things here and there. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye bye.